Okay, everyone, we are going to get started for the evening. So I'd just like to say welcome to Baird Middle School's virtual orientation for the 2022-2023 school year. I'm Mrs. Upel, so I'm the administrator for 5th and 6th grade students. But I'm also in charge of all the enrollments and new students here at Baird Middle School. So even 7th graders, you guys are with me for this time as well. So we're very excited for this evening. At this time, Mr. Guevara, if you would like to, I will unmute you. You can unmute yourself, I believe, Mr. Guevara.
Yep. Can you guys hear me? Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, you're all good.
Excellent. All right. Well, hi, my name is Mr. Guevara. I am the leadership teacher and also many other roles here at school. But here I'm going to say a little message in Spanish, and I'll be on my way. Buenas tardes, familias de Baird. Bienvenidos a todos ustedes que hablan español. Me llamo Ricardo Guevara. Soy maestro aquí de la escuela secundaria. Si se fijan en el chat, hay un enlace a mi cuenta, a mi junta que vamos a estar en español. Ahorita le doy ese enlace y usted va a poder entrar a mi junta que va a ser todo en español. Entonces, bueno, nos vamos para allá. Los veo en unos minutos. Thank you very much, Ms. Upel. If you wouldn't mind adding the link to my meeting one more in the chat, that way parents can access it. And I'll see you on the other side, I guess.
Yep, the link is in the chat, so if you just scroll up slightly, we put it in there, 531, so you can find that. So that was for any of our Spanish-speaking parents. If you'd like to have the same exact meeting but in Spanish, you can click on that link, and Mr. Guevara will be doing the presentation in Spanish. So for any of those that would like to attend that, you guys may do so. Okay, I am going to share my screen at this time, so I do have a few screens going on so I can still see you guys. So we will go through the presentation. So let me do that at this time. Thumbs up. Can anybody hear me, guys? Give me the thumbs up. Kind of. Okay, I will sit a little closer so you guys can hear me a little bit. Yep, thumbs up, you guys can hear me. Perfect, thank you guys. Okay, we're gonna share our screen now. Okay, hopefully, can you guys still see the screen and hear me? Awesome, thank you. And thank you guys for being patient with technology. So welcome once again to our Baird virtual orientation for the 2022-2023 school year. If you have any questions or concerns, please post them in the turned off, so you cannot ask any questions verbally, but if you do have any questions, then you can also go to the chat and add them in the chat. If you have any individual or personal questions, you can also feel free to email me, Mrs. Upel. My email address is there on the website, and it is also here in front of you guys. So our agenda for this evening, and hopefully we will get you guys out of here a little bit sooner. Can you guys still hear me? My computer said microphone issue. Perfect. Thank you guys. So we are going to do a quick introduction of admin. We will go over some Baird expectations. We'll look at the programs that we have at Baird. We'll also do some staff introductions and our elective teachers. And then we will transition to grade level breakout sessions. And that is when each individual grade level, so 5th grade will go to a certain breakout, 6th grade will go to another one, and 7th grade students. So you will get direct information from those teachers. First, we'd like to introduce our principal. Our principal is Mrs. Martin. And Mrs. Martin is completing her first year at Baird Middle School as a principal after transitioning from being the vice principal for the last 7 years. She's responsible for ensuring that Baird Middle School runs smoothly. Mrs. Martin has a passion for students. She wants all students to be successful and achieve while at Baird. Mrs. Martin truly feels that Baird is a special place and that students have great opportunities here. If you would like to contact her, her email address will be put in the chat, so you guys can look out for that one. Next up, we have Mrs. Poindexter, and she's our vice principal, and she is our administrator for 7th and 8th grade students. So she is responsible for taking care of all matters 7th and 8th grade while here at school. She's also responsible for our 8th grade promotion and parent involvement at Baird. She was previously our RSP teacher, and this is actually her first year being our vice principal at Baird. So we are just excited to have her be part of our program. She is dedicated to ensuring that all students have access to Baird Middle School and the diverse programs Baird has to offer. If you have any questions related to anything 7th and 8th grade, please feel free to contact her as well. And all of those will be put in the chat. Next up, this is myself. I'm Mrs. Upel, and I'm the 5th and 6th grade administrator and also the GLA. So I'm also responsible for new student enrollment. That's why you guys have probably received quite a few emails from me over the last few weeks, and testing at Baird. So that goes for state testing and any district-wide testing we have here. I am currently in my 4th year at Baird, but I previously did do an internship here, and I was also the girls soccer coach. So I am very familiar with Baird and all the ways that Baird runs. Definitely have a great passion for helping students succeed. And if you have any questions, don't forget my email address is in the chat. Next up, we have Miss Navarro. Miss Navarro, are you there? If you want to unmute yourself.
I am here. Good evening, parents and students. I'm Miss Navarro, the academic counselor. I'm excited to be at Baird full-time this year, so I'll be there 5 days. I provide students with academic, career, and social emotional supports. I support students in being successful at Baird and getting them ready for high school. Maybe if they have college questions, also conflicts with their peers, helping them be successful with like organizational skills, time management, all of that good stuff. My goal is to prepare students to be successful in life. And so I am very excited to be at Baird full-time this year. If you have any questions, your student or yourself can reach me by email or on Teams.
Thank you, Ms. Navarro. Next up, we have our 2 ladies that are in our front office that are very vital to everything that we do here at school. First up, we have Mrs. Palomino. She's our attendance clerk. So if your student needs to leave early for an appointment, arrives late from an appointment, or needs to clear an absence, this would be the person that you would contact and connect with. Her phone number at the school, and it's on the school website, is 451-4310. Next up, we have our office manager, who is new to our school this year, but has really jumped in and been able to do wonderful things for us. That's Mrs. Reeve. She makes sure that everything runs smoothly at Baird. So if you have any questions about anything, she is an awesome person to start with because she can usually answer anything that's going on at the school. Okay, guys, now we're going to jump into a few of our Baird expectations. So we will go through tonight. We will briefly talk about the bell schedule, our standard of dress, character counts, Baird's guide to success, limiting classroom disruptions, lunch deliveries for students, messages to students, and that we are a middle school. So once again, if you guys do have questions, please feel free to add those into the chat, and Ms. Navarro or myself will be able to answer those. So in front of you guys at this time is our current bell schedule. We are actually working on adjusting a few things, but our start time is at 9:15 and school ends at 3:30. The gates open daily for students to be on campus at 8:50 a.m. Students are not allowed on campus prior to that. Drop-off is only at the front of the school off of Maroa. For safety, parents are not allowed in the parking lot to drop off students in the morning. They have to be out on Maroa Avenue. This is for buses only, so our parking lot is for buses only in the morning. Classes begin promptly at 9:15 a.m. and finish at 3:30 p.m. Parent pickup, so this is in the afternoon after school, may be at the front of the school on Maroa or the back of the school on College Avenue. For safety, parents are not allowed in the parking lot during this time either because we do daily have between 9 and 12 buses that come to our campus either in the morning or afternoon, bringing students to and from school. So it is a safety issue that we have, that we make sure those students are able to get in and out, and also our buses are able to get in and out of campus smoothly. An updated bus schedule will be available on the Baird website at the beginning of August. So transportation always gives us that over the summer. As soon as we have that, that will go up on the Baird website. The one that we do have currently on our website is one that is something that you can use as a reference to be able to know which stops that are available, but the times may be adjusted for next school year. If you do have any questions about transportation, you can always call Fresno Unified Transportation as well. Their phone number is 457-3138, and that is on our website, or it's also on the main website through Fresno Unified. Next up, we do have our Baird standard of dress. So for the purpose of fostering a professional and academic school culture, Baird has a standard of dress policy. Standard of dress policy pertains to all students on campus. Attending Baird Middle School means that students will follow the standard of dress policy. Students that arrive at school out of dress code may receive disciplinary actions or parents contacted to bring another change of clothing. Please visit the Baird website for more information and to review the Baird standard of dress with your student. So this is very important to go through before school year starts. Our main standard of dress is that students come to school in a collared shirt that is a solid color. We also have on here the approved solid colors, the acceptable ones, and then solid colored pants. Denim is a possibility for students, so jeans are okay for students to wear daily as well. This next page is an example of our Baird standard of dress. Of our students. Our students are also required to wear their lanyard with a student ID card. This can be purchased during our back to school and scheduled pickup night before school starts in order to be in Baird standard of dress. Students are also required to have their shirts tucked in daily. That is also part of our standard of dress. So make sure you guys are reviewing that with your student, and students, you guys make sure you guys review it as well. We always give students the opportunity to self-correct themselves. And also that first week of school is where we will really be talking to students about what is in standard dress and what is not. So students do get a chance to make sure that they know what's appropriate. It is also okay if you and students and parents, you guys can always send us an email with a picture of the clothing that you have in question, and then we can let you know if it is in standard of dress or not. Next up, we have at Baird character counts, and Miss Navarro is going to talk about this one.
All right, guys. So at Baird, not only do we strive for students to be academically successful, but we also want them to be good citizens within the community. Baird utilizes the 6 pillars of character counts: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. During the first week of school, Baird students will review the 6 pillars of character counts and discuss the descriptions. Some of the important characters include trustworthiness, being honest, reliable, and having courage to do the right thing; respect, treating others with respect and being tolerant of differences; responsibility, doing what you are supposed to do, keep trying, and using self-control; fairness, playing by the rules, being open-minded, and taking turns; caring, being kind, compassionate, and expressing gratitude; citizenship, doing your share to make your school and community better, cooperating and obeying the rules. Okay, so now we're going to go on to Baird's Guide to Success. Okay, and so these are just some tips that we have to help students and parents be successful. So please ensure that your student checks Atlas 2 to 3 times a week. If your child has low grades, these are some tips that you can do to help your student and supports that we have at Baird, okay? So have your students reach out to their teacher on Teams through emails or during academic support time. Baird is a middle school, and we encourage students to advocate and problem solve independently. It is not uncommon for our 5th grade students to take some time adjusting and being a middle school student. They are 10 or 11 years old, and it is a bit difficult for them to manage 7 different classes, but we are here to support them. Expect that your student will have an hour and 15 minutes of homework every night. In addition, 15 minutes of backpack and binder organization. Students will write homework assignments in their planner daily. If they are not filling out their planner, please reach out to their teachers. Please have your students organize their backpack weekly by removing or organizing loose papers and placing them in the correct subject area in their binder. Encourage your student to attend academic support time, also known as AST. I will go over this into more detail a little later in the presentation, but AST is available during 8:50 and 9:10 in the morning every day. Ms. Dupal will now go over our disciplinary procedures.
Okay, so I just want to make sure everybody can still hear me. Perfect, thank you guys. Okay, so Baird upholds a standard of behaviors for all students. If students do not follow the rules, they may receive one of the following actions. So some of the discipline procedures that we have is lunch detention. So lunch detention can be assigned to students if they are out of dress code, if they're not wearing their ID or lanyard, if they're chewing gum, if there are bus referrals, and if there's other discipline coming from teachers. Lunch detention involves students helping to beautify the school campus and making sure that it is that we do not have any trash on campus. So it is an opportunity for students to give back to their school. We also do have discipline referrals from teachers. So if a teacher is sending a student to the office, and some of the referrals are, and examples are students being defiant in class or disrespectful, if they're cheating or plagiarizing, all forms of physical aggression, possession of any inappropriate materials, okay, and a few other things. So there's other things. When that happens, what teachers and what the administrators do is they make sure they reach out to parents and also make sure that the student understands why they're getting in trouble. We do also have classroom discipline, so students will not automatically be sent to the office. There are 4 steps that teachers go through. So first, teachers will warn the student. And then teachers will have an individual conference with that student. So they may ask for the student to step outside so they can talk. The teacher will also contact the parent to let them know exactly what's going on. And then at the end, they will send in that office referral. Another big thing that we have here at Baird, and this is also a state law, so it's not just here at Baird, but cell phones. Cell phones are not permitted to be on during school hours from 8:50 to 3:30. Students can, of course, have a cell phone with them, but it needs to be shut off during school hours. If a student is caught with having their cell phone on during class time or during school hours, the phone will be removed from the student. So students always get a warning first. So the first warning, then the student can pick up their phone after school. But once we get past that first warning, then we ask that parents come into the school, and only a parent or guardian will be able to pick up the phone for students. Next up is limiting classroom disruptions. So teaching time is very valuable at Baird. We ask that parents help in trying to limit classroom disruptions by the following. So it's very important that we are notifying the office prior to the start of school if your student has an appointment. That way your student can be called to the office before school starts and given their pass, so that we're not having to interrupt individual classrooms to do so. Also communicating to your student about drop-off and pickup locations prior to school. And also refraining from texting your student during the school day. So like we said in the previous slide, cell phones are not permitted, so students will not be able to check their cell phone throughout the day. So it's very important that families are coordinating and making sure students know exactly where they need to be at the end of school. Next up, we have lunch deliveries and messages to students. So to ensure the safety of all students, we do not allow outside vendors or deliveries to students. So that's Uber Eats, that's any of those delivery services that come to and deliver food directly to places. That is a really big safety concern that we have. In previous years, we had students going out to unidentified cars, and that is terrifying to us. So we do not allow any food deliveries on campus to students. Parents, of course, and guardians may drop off any lunch deliveries directly to the office, because we all understand that sometimes our student may forget. We do limit the number of distractions to classes, and will deliver messages to students during break, lunch, or after school. We will not disrupt a class to give a student a message. So if you need to give your student a message and it's in the middle of a class time, then we will not interrupt the class. Like we were saying before, we really value that teaching time and want to make sure we are courteous to all our teachers so they can get the full amount of time with their students to help them learn. So if we are giving students messages, it will be either before school, during break, lunch, or after school. The next up is that we are a middle school. So Baird Middle School is a unique school in Fresno Unified. Baird is classified as a middle school. We treat all students as middle schoolers, including our 5th and 6th graders. So like Ms. Navarro was saying earlier, we do understand that our 5th graders and some of our 6th graders that are new this year are going to be new to having multiple teachers and going to different classes. So we definitely have that understanding, and we have grace during that first quarter of school, and especially that first week, to really help students navigate what it means to be a middle schooler. We also encourage all students to advocate for themselves first at Baird. That is one of the things we really, really want to teach our students, so that in the future, when they are going to high school and beyond, they can advocate for themselves. Next up, we do have our programs at Baird. So at Baird, we have an illustrious amount of programs that we are very happy about. First, we'll talk about our athletics. Then we'll talk about after-school programs and after-school tutoring. We will go into our academic supports and AST, what Ms. Navarro talked about earlier. We'll also talk about our SEL supports, which is our social emotional learning supports. We will talk about clubs that are available on campus for students and ways for parents to get involved. So first up, we have athletics. So as you see here, we do have 4 seasons of sports for students. So during quarter 1, we have cross country, and cross country is one of our few sports that are no cut sports. That means if you go out, you will be part of the team. We have golf, and that's girls and boys golf, girls volleyball, football, and water polo. During quarter 2, we have soccer, and this is girls and boys soccer, boys basketball, and wrestling. Quarter 3, we have girls basketball and baseball. And quarter 4, we finish up with softball, track and field, which is a no-cut sport as well, boys volleyball, and girls and boys tennis. For the majority of our teams on campus, we do have both a varsity and a JV team. So this gives our opportunity for our 5th and 6th graders to still participate in sports. We always encourage, even if you're a 5th grader, to come out and play. We do not compete in the elementary school leagues. We compete in the middle school leagues for both of those teams. So students will be competing against other schools and other schools' 7th and 8th graders. And this year we are happy and excited. Our athletics teams have done very well this year. Our girls softball team was just in the championship game today against Tenaya. We had numerous track and field runners that placed in the city finals. Our boys volleyball team were champions. They won last night at Bullard High School. And we also had quite a few tennis with our singles and doubles winning as well. Next up, we have our after school programs. After school programs are new to Baird, and the 2022-2023 school year will be the first full year at Baird that we are offering after school programs. We did start it this 2nd semester of this year, and we are continuing it for next school year. The plan is that we have 2 different options for students. Students can either do hip hop, and that's with our hip hop instructor, Deborah McCoy, and that's after school from 4 to 6 p.m. daily. The other option that students have is our nature hour, which during that they do one-on-one activities with adventure education solutions. They also learn about recycling, biodiversity, nature's skyscrapers, and more. And that is daily from 3:30 to 5 p.m. So if students are not participating in one of our after-school programs, after-school tutoring, or our sports programs, we do ask that parents pick up their students promptly. We want to make sure that we are being courteous to our coaches and our teachers, that everybody gets picked up on time. So students are not allowed to just hang out on campus after school. They either need to be picked up by a parent or guardian, ride the bus, or they have to be in one of our programs.
Another awesome program that we have is our after-school tutoring program. This is, I believe, the 1st or 2nd year that we've had after-school tutoring. After-school tutoring is available for all students it's available by teacher request from 3:40 to 4:45 Monday through Thursday. Teachers will put in a request depending on what the request is for, whether it's for ELA or math. The students will attend those days. It's 2 days of ELA or 2 days of math. Space is limited for the program, and of course, a request will be put in by their teacher. And requests or referrals are put in within the 1st month of school, so that program begins shortly after the requests have been submitted. Now I'm going to go over our academic support time, which is also another crucial component of our academic supports. So of course, I meet with students who have D's or F's, and I do academic monitoring. With all of that, I do also recommend students or refer students for after-school tutoring, but most importantly, I encourage students to use AST. AST is a very component of our academic support structure. It is academic support time, also known as AST. It is every day from 8:50 to 9:10. This time is designated for students to get additional academic support from their teachers, They can talk to their teachers if they have missed school or are going to miss school, so they can prepare ahead of time and get assignments. If they have questions on homework or projects, or participate in small group reteaching. This time, the library is also open, so students can return books, check out books, and do all of that good stuff. Our teachers are on a rotation morning supervision schedule. So if your student's teacher is not in their class, for example, on a Monday, then the student has 5 or 6 other teachers that they can go to. That teacher will only have supervision for that day, so then the student can go another day to them. So we always encourage students when they tell us, well, my teacher wasn't there, we say, okay, go to another teacher. We encourage all students to use AST for success at Baird. Now we're going to go on to our social emotional learning supports. Baird has multiple social emotional learning supports. If you have any questions about these, please contact your grade level administrator. So for 5th and 6th grade, that would be Miss Upal. And for 7th and 8th grade, that will be Miss Poindexter. 2 individuals that we have on campus that are very crucial for that support are Miss Kama Day, who's our school psychologist, who's available Monday through Wednesday, and Mr. Armando Arambiola, who's our school social worker, and he's available Thursday and Friday. We also do have Care Solace, which is an online resource that we use for therapy and counseling services. We do make these referrals that is available for all students in the district.
Next up, we have our clubs. So clubs are an awesome way for kids to get involved in Baird, and we encourage all students to participate in at least one club on campus. Clubs are offered before school, during school, after school, or on weekends. So we do have some that meet during our Saturday Academy that we host for students. The list that you guys see on here are just a few of the ones that we have here on campus. We have lots more, and we also have students create their own clubs every year. So if you have something that you're really interested in and you have a few friends that would like to do it with you as well, so would like to join you for that club, all you have to do is talk to one of the teachers on campus or come see one of the administrators, and we will help you find an advisor for that club and help facilitate the club. So this is just a limited list, but we really, really encourage students to be active at school and participate in whatever different ways they can. So if you guys over the summer, all you 5th, 6th, and 7th graders, if you guys are thinking about things, make sure you guys think about what activities you guys would like to do. So if there's something that you guys want to do and have a few friends, please let us know. And that way they can start that club for you starting at the beginning of next school year. We also do have a club rush, so that is an opportunity for students to sign up for clubs. During that time, we usually have a bunch of booths out and tables laid out so you can see what clubs are available for students and have signups. The next thing that we're going to talk about are ways for parents to get involved. So we have a few different ways for parents to get involved at school because we always like to and encourage parents to be part of our Baird community. The first one up is our school site council. So school site council develops the school plan for student achievement for programs, and it works in collaboration with admin and staff on campus. These are elected people, so the elections for this will occur during the fall of next school year. So look out for emails and information more about that if you are interested in participating. They do meet quarterly to discuss items and vote on school-wide implementations. So if you're interested in participating, more info will be during our back to school night and scheduled pickup night in August. Okay, so make sure you guys look out for that. The next thing up we have is volunteering. So parents may complete the Fresno Unified volunteer form to be able to participate in school trips and events on campus. So we always love to have parents go to our field trips, be part of our school community, and you can receive that information from our office manager, Ms. Reeve. So if you want to, you can reach out to her. If you have done it at your previous school, I believe because you were coming to a new school, you have to fill out the form again for every school year, okay? So once you are new to Baird, it does last through the time that you were there. But because you guys are all coming from a new school, you would have to re-sign up now that you're joining Baird. We also do have our parent-teacher organization, so that's our PTO, and this gives parents opportunities to work together to supplement and enrich the educational experience for all students at Baird. So that is a great organization to look into as well. More information about that will be also during our back to school night in August. And events to look forward to. So this year, due to COVID, we weren't allowed to have as many on-campus events as we would like, but we do normally host quite a few events to get parents involved, to get family members involved. So one of the things that we have is pastries with parents or pastries with your guardian, mom's tea, and mom's tea does include having any significant woman in your life, so anybody that you feel that you would like to come, and Dad's Day is the same. And then we do have quarterly academic and quarterly sports awards. So those are events for families to come on campus and be able to participate in. So those are really, really great chances for families to get involved with the school, be there on campus, see all the wonderful things that our students are doing and our teachers as well. Next up, we're going to quickly go through, because when you get to your grade level breakout sessions, you guys will have way more time to get to know these people and get to meet them thoroughly. But first up, we do have our 5th grade teaching team. So all of our grade levels have 5 core teachers. They have math teacher, which you see here is Mr. Carrion for 5th grade. Then they have a social science or history teacher for 5th grade, that's Mrs. Alvarado. They have a PE teacher, that's Mr. Luna, a science teacher, Miss Jensen, and an English teacher, which for 5th grade, that's Mr. Mertens. So as you guys see there, this is a wonderful group that will introduce your students to Baird. So just so you guys get to see what they look like a little bit. Okay, and then when you guys go to your breakout session, you will hear more directly from them. So then that way you can directly ask them questions about each grade level. Next up, we have our 6th grade teachers. Mr. Wong is 6th grade math. Mr. Isaac is your social science or history teacher. Mrs. Pranick is 6th grade PE. Mrs. Caruso is your science teacher, and we are sad to lose our 6th grade English teacher, Mrs. Roblard. She will be leaving us this year, and we are still waiting to find out exactly who will be our 6th grade English teacher. So for you new 6th graders, as soon as we find out, we will let you guys all know, so you guys will get a way to meet this teacher before the school year starts. But 6th grade is an awesome year. You guys get to do tons of fun and exciting things, and you also get to go to 6th grade camp, which is one of the most exciting things that we do here at Baird. Next up, we have our 7th grade teachers. And this year we actually have 2 new 7th grade teachers to the grade level. So we have Mrs. Parashika, who is math. We have Mrs. Jansen, who's social science or history. And our 2 new teachers are, one of them is our PE teacher, and we have Mrs. Swally. Then we also have a new science teacher, Mr. Presset. And then our English teacher, Mrs. Reed, is returning for us as well. So 7th grade, they have a wonderful group. They're excited to get some new staff members in there, and those staff members are very excited to be part of the Baird team. So if there are any new 7th graders here, make sure you guys reach out to them. They're super excited to meet all of you guys and have you guys part of that grade level. Next up, we have our elective teachers. So we do offer different electives here at Baird. We have Miss Hurd, who is our agriculture teacher, Mr. Magana, who's our alliance teacher, Mr. Rocha, who does technology and career expo careers. We have Senora Limon, who's our Spanish teacher, and we have Senorita Valdez Ruelas, who's also one of our Spanish teachers. So we definitely have a diverse group of elective teachers. So just to let you guys know, all of our 5th and 6th grade students participate in our elective wheel. So what is amazing is that each quarter our 5th graders will have one of the 4 electives. So they will either have agriculture, alliance, technology, or Spanish, and they will each get a quarter of those in 5th grade and 6th grade. So that is a great opportunity for students to kind of figure out what elective they like for when they get to 7th and 8th grade, where they will choose their year-long elective. Their year-long electives will be one of the same following classes, and that will be the class that they take for the entire year. What is also awesome is when you get to 7th and 8th grade, if you choose to take Spanish, and we do have Spanish 1 and 2, and we also have Spanish for native speakers 1 and 2. And if your student chooses to pick this class for their elective class, they will get high school credit. So this is a great way for students to be prepared, have a few extra classes that they won't have to take in high school. Next up, we have our music teachers. So in addition to our elective teachers, we also have a group that teaches music here at our school. So beginning music and choir are daily from 8 to 8:45. So this class is before school starts. Just to let you guys know, there is no transportation for this class. So if you are taking beginning band, beginning orchestra, or joining the choir, there are no buses that bring students to campus at this time. This would have to be parent guardian, would have to bring students to campus in order to take these classes. So make sure if students do want to take any of those classes, they let us know. 5th graders, you are only allowed to do the beginning classes or choir. You cannot take advanced, but 6th through 8th grade students can take the advanced music classes. We really want our 5th graders to get that experience of taking the wheels, so going through those 4 different elective classes. So we make sure that 5th grade, they're part of the wheel and they can do beginning music classes, but they cannot take the advanced music class. The advanced classes are one of the year-long electives. So if your student chooses to do music instead, then they will be in that for the whole year and they will not get the elective wheel. So just a little bit about our music teachers. Mrs. Oswalt has been at Baird and she is in her 3rd year here, but she has been teaching music for the last 12 years and she teaches our band. So that includes drums, that includes all of our wind instruments, that includes lots of different things. So if your student is interested in trying an instrument, beginning band is an awesome way for students to start that. For next school year, unfortunately, we are losing Mr. Hawansky, who is going to Edison High School. So we will be getting a new beginning and advanced orchestra or strings teacher. During this class, they can take violin, the viola, the cello, any of those instruments that are string instruments and participate in that. And finally, we have Miss McGaw. Miss McGaw has been our Baird choir teacher for the last, we believe, 8 or 9 years, but she has been teaching music for over 20 plus years. So she has lots of experience in teaching singing. So choir is just like chorus. So that is a singing class, and that does happen before school every day. So these classes are graded classes. So if students do choose to start and do beginning music classes, then they are required to be there because you do get a grade for it. So it's very important that if students want to, then they can. Students for this will sign up for these classes during the 1st week of school. So none of these classes start until the 2nd week of school. So if you want to, students look out for the signups for these classes during that 1st week of school. Next up, we have what we like to call our support staff. So these are our people on campus that really help out in many different ways. So first up, we have our librarian, Frau Grunberg, who used to actually be our German teacher, but in the last year transitioned to our librarian and technology support on campus. So if you need to check out a book, if you need help with your Fresno Unified issued computer, or replacing chargers or getting a new device for your student, if you're new to the district, she would be the one that you go to. You can visit her in the library and she will answer any of your questions that you have. Next up, we have Mr. Guevara, and he was the one gentleman that joined us at the beginning. He has been at Baird for numerous years as well, and he helps support our Alliance classes. So that's one of our 7th and 8th grade elective classes, and also is our Spanish speaking parent liaison. So he helps in a lot of different ways. If any parents need communication in Spanish, he is our go-to person for that. He also runs a lot of our Baird supports, so he also helps with our tutoring after school and any ways that he can help support students. Next up, we have Mr. Ayers. He is our RSP teacher, and this is actually his first year at Baird, so we're excited that he will be returning with us next year. And he helps support students that have IEPs and or if students are being assessed for special education services. Next up, we have Mr. Morellis, and he is our plant coordinator, and he is one of our vital team members here at Baird. He runs all the custodial services at school, but he is a multitasker on campus and works with students throughout the day. So he's really the person that makes sure our facilities are running smoothly, and he is also works as a mentor to a lot of our students. So we really appreciate him on campus. Next up, we have Mr. Tom, and he's actually one of our 2 campus safety members that we have at school. So Mr. Tom, he is actually a retired police officer, and he's been a great addition to the staff. He maintains and helps maintain a safe environment for students, staff, and family members while on campus. He also works with students that may have are having any issues in classes, and he's a great mentor for students that we have on campus as well. And you will notice all of our campus safety, they do wear yellow shirts. So if you ever have any questions, he would be one of the ones that you can go to. And then we also have our school nurse, who is very important, especially over the last few years, Miss Raquel Rodriguez. She has been an RN for the last 15 years, but now has transitioned into being a school nurse. She's been a wonderful support during COVID for all students and staff. And if you have any medications or medical conditions, she is the person to contact at the school for support or information. So if your student has any of that stuff, please contact her before the school year starts or during our back to school night and schedule pickup night. And that way she can get you guys figured out and make sure everything runs smoothly for your student. Next up, we do have our kitchen staff, and our kitchen staff is filled with a wonderful group. First up, we have Miss Sia, and she's our kitchen manager. She's the head of the kitchen staff. She's supported by Miss Gina and also Miss Sia. Daily, Miss Sia and all of her crew prepare fresh food for our students. So we are very fortunate that we do not get satellite lunches at Baird. Our staff actually make fresh food on campus. Some of the days we get spicy chicken sandwiches, we get burritos, we've had teriyaki chicken. So you name it, they really make a great variety of food for our students on campus. All kitchen staff encourage students to eat a healthy meal daily to have brain power to be successful at Baird. Baird does offer free breakfast and lunch daily for all students on campus. So students, you guys can eat during our breakfast time, which is 8:50 to 9:10, or during lunch, and it is of no cost to you guys, okay? And the kitchen staff work hard to provide nutritious and different options for students. If the students have any dietary restrictions, so if you can't eat or can't have certain things, please notify the office before school starts. And next, we're going to, before we go to grade level breakouts, we're going to allow our elective teachers to introduce themselves. So I'm going to make sure some of them are on camera first. So first up, we have Miss Hurd, Agriculture. So Miss Hurd, if you want to unmute yourself and talk a little bit about your agriculture class. And we're allowing this time for these teachers to talk because all students have the opportunity to take these classes. So we didn't want you guys to go to your grade level breakouts before hearing this vital information.
Hi students and welcome. Hi parents. My name is Mrs. Her and I am the agriculture teacher here at Baird Middle School. I have been with Fresno Unified for 17 years working in and out of the classrooms, in the library. This is my 5th year here at Baird. I was the former attendance clerk and then office manager. This year is my first year teaching agriculture. So I'm so happy to see all of the faces. Tonight, we have so much to do in our garden, my friends. We have 24 raised beds, we have hydroponic towers, we have vineyards, we have orchards. So we have lots to do in our classroom. You will learn all the things that you need to do to take care of plants, and not only that, but we will also include food science in our classroom. So not only do we get to taste our vegetables that we grow in our garden raw, but we also learn how to cook them and see what they taste like. So it's going to be a ton of fun in my classroom. I'm excited to see you guys, and it's going to be a great year. Bye.
Thank you, Ms. Her. Next up, we have Mr. Magana, and he's our Alliance teacher. Mr. Magana, are you there?
Yes. All right. So I am Mr. Magana, and currently I'm teaching what is known as the Scholars Program, but we're working on the name. Most likely it's going to be called Alliance next year. And a little bit about myself. I have worked for Fresno Unified for 26 years at different settings. I have worked in early education, middle school ELA, U.S. history, world history, campus culture, and also as an avid coordinator. In the Alliance program, what we're going to be having is an inclusive environment that will expose students to 21st century skills such as critical thinking, communication, citizenship, creativity, collaboration, and growth mindset activities. We will also work on updating and making sure that all students have an organized agenda, a neat binder, and this is an expectation at Baird. So students in my class will have that opportunity to really stop and think and have that opportunity to practice. And if they're struggling with organization, then we're going to work together with those students, especially with our 5th graders. It's a great program where we can make sure they have a solid foundation here on out to until the 8th grade. So students, well, in this elective, in the Alliance elective, we will also be learning how to be critical readers. We're going to be also writing and learning how to take Cornell notes. A lot of the times students have certain ways of studying, but here we are going to also expose them to Costa's levels of questioning. How do I create a level 1, a level 2, a level 3 question, and incorporate that into our Cornell notes so that study can be more productive. In addition, students will participate in team building activities and also social emotional learning. So part of the social emotional learning that is incorporated into this elective is how do we teach students how to make responsible decisions? How do we make them learn about empathy and setting goals, and also how to manage emotions. So we have some fun in this class as well. We have team building activities. One of the activities that kids like to just pause, think, and get to know each other is, for example, silent ball, where everybody participates, and it's a nice, friendly way for students to just get off their seats and just have fun with each other in this class. So in this class, we do a little bit of everything, and we always aim to have fun in this class. So I really am looking forward to working with your student.
Thank you, Mr. Magana.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Mr. Rocha, and he teaches technology, which is also our Explo Careers class. Mr. Rocha, are you there?
I am here. How are you, folks? Well, welcome to Baird. I'm so excited to be here tonight, and can't wait to meet all of you in August, I think. Anyway, I am in charge of teaching the technology at Baird, and next year it's going to be a little bit different. This year it started out different this year, and next year it's completely different. I will be, all grade levels will be experiencing the same technology. They will be learning it at different levels. So my fifth graders will start off at the basics. Sixth graders will be a little bit more advanced. Seventh and eighth graders will be, I'll start them off in the basics, but they will move rapidly through into an advanced stage. For example, building web pages. A seventh and eighth grader, or not my eighth graders, because my eighth graders are this year's seventh graders, so they already know. But the incoming seventh graders, I will go easy with them, teaching them the very basics, but then pushing them towards more advanced features of website building, app development, robotics, and 3D printing, which it doesn't seem like a lot, but they are labor intensive and they are time consuming. So we will focus on those, as well as I forgot about the drones. We just received 5 new drones, and so students will be learning how to fly drones as well. For right now, it'll have to be in the classroom and outside my room. But once they build me that wing out there on the softball field, we get rid of softball and soccer. We'll have a whole auditorium out there, and we'll be flying drones all day long. Right, Mrs. Francis or Mrs. Yabel?
Yes, Rocha.
Anyway,
that's Rocha's dream.
That's my dream. But so that I'm excited to work with all of you. But if any of you have any technology needs, any issues, you can always reach out to me to see if I can't help you. Troubleshoot it, figure it all out. Okay. So again, I'm excited and can't wait to meet all of you in August. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rocha. Next up, we have Senora Limon. Senora Limon, are you there?
Yes, of course, I'm here. Hi, everyone. I'm Senora Limon. I'm the Spanish teacher at Baird. I've been with Fresno Unified. This will be my 23rd year. I was at Sunnyside for 16 years. So I've been able to do all Spanish all the way up to AP Spanish literature. And I've been at Baird for 7 years now, teaching Spanish 1 for high school credit and Spanish for native speakers, so the ones that already speak Spanish at home, and also for high school credit. This is my first year, though, that I've been able to teach or work with 5th and 6th graders, because you guys are so much fun. So I was like, okay, I want to work with them. And I'm just excited to work with you guys. My class, or my Spanish class, is just learning basics such as colors, months, days of the week, and communication. So if you like to talk, this will be the perfect class for you, because you'll be able to talk, but in Espanol, not in English, not English, but in Spanish, right? And we do it through groups, also through music, singing and songs. It also includes culture, and part of the culture is food. So I don't know, but you can ask the 5th graders. They say Senora Limon has the best fiestas ever. So we'll see. You guys get to judge next year when you guys are with me. I'm also one of the teachers that teach culinary arts, which is cooking, for block 8. This quarter, I have the 7th graders, and it's been really nice to be able to do something different, a cooking class, and to be able to work with the 5th and 6th graders. So I am excited, And I mean, I just can't wait for next year. And I'm the first classroom right after the office, so you can always stop by and say, "Hola, Senora Limon." Okay, so I'm excited to see you guys soon. Thank you, Ms. Leopold.
Thank you so much, Senora Limon. Next up, we have Senorita Valdez Ruelas.
Hi, I'm Miss Valdez or Senorita Valdez. I teach Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 for non-natives. In our class, we learn all sorts of things from the alphabet to colors. You get to eventually learn, you know, like different parts of a house, and you get to design your own dream house. You get to create your own family tree, whether it's real or pretend, and you get to describe different people in Spanish. So we have a lot of fun in this class. We do a lot of games and just a lot of fun activities, lots of music and songs and videos, and we just have a lot of fun in our class. So I can't wait to have you guys in my classroom. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Senora Valdez. So last up, we do have Mr. Guevara. We spoke about him a little bit, but he does help support our Alliance classes for our 7th and 8th grade students. And then he also works. Oh, are you here, Mr. Guevara?
I am here, Miss Yupel.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, we got done finished with the links. If you want to just jump in real quick. So anyway, hey guys, this is Mr. Guevara again, and super excited again for all kids. Leadership for 7th and 8th grade. That is the Alliance class. I also teach flamenco or Spanish guitar during Block 8. So if any aspiring guitars are out there, I would love to sit down with you and play some guitar with you. I take care of all Spanish communication between parents and myself, obviously, in the school, and just basically do anything that's needed. So I do after school tutoring also. That is by teacher referral. I believe you guys already talked about that. But anyhow, thank you guys for being here. Again, can't wait to meet your kiddos. And this is going to be an awesome year.
Thank you so much, Mr. Guevara. Okay, so at this time, this is the end of our main session. So shortly, I am going to put 3 links into the chat that will be able to take you to your grade level appropriate meeting. So all you'll have to do is click on if you're 5th, 6th, or 7th grade, and it will directly take you to that. But don't forget, at the end, the teachers will send out a form, so they'll put another link in the chat for you guys to complete. This is how we're taking attendance for the evening, just because we don't have everybody's first and last names that we have listed here. Some of them are listed as guests. So we want to make sure that all of you that are here and participating, that you guys get credit for completing this, because this is one of our steps to enrolling at Baird Middle School. So please make sure, and if they don't, please remind the grade level teachers to put that link in the chat at the end of your grade level meeting. But I would like to say, let me unshare so you guys can see me again. Perfect. So I would just like to say thank you guys all for coming and listening to our main session of our orientation. I hope that you guys got a lot of valuable information and were able to feel like you're a little bit more prepared for next school year. We do also have a few other things that students are going to go through before school starts. So the last thing that parents, you guys really have to fill out is there is a back to school form. So that link will be available on the Baird website starting June 1st. And that just gives us a lot of your contact information so that we make sure that we can reach out to you guys if we need to. And then we do also in August, so before school starts, we have our schedule pickup night and our back to school night. During schedule pickup night and back to school night, that is where you can purchase your PE uniforms. You can also purchase your Baird Spirit Wear uniforms. If you want to get an agenda, that's where you can also get your lanyard. And that is the most important thing. You'll be getting your students' class schedule for that school year. So that night is very, very important. So look out for more information about that when you guys we'll get that information over the summer. Okay, so make sure you guys are checking your email Also making sure that you guys are checking the Baird website, because we do post most of our information on there if you have any questions. I do see a few people have their hands up. As a reminder that we are not allowing any questions to be asked via audio. So if you do have a question, please put it in the chat at this time, so then we can answer your questions. I'm going to keep going through and answering as many questions that I have. If your question did not get answered, we truly apologize. You can also send me an email, so then that way I can answer your question directly. But once again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for participating. We are really, really looking forward to having you guys, so you students and parents, be part of our Baird community next year. And we are excited for the 2022-2023 school year. So give me about 1 minute and I will